Hi. Oh, me? Me? You talking to me? I am regular sized Courtney. Welcome to whatever this is today. Okay, yeah. There's a lot of stereotypes about minimalism. Before I was a minimalist, I would have assumed, minimalists, they're probably a vegan or they're probably vegetarian. Like, I would just assume that they're on some fancy thing. It's no offense intended. Vegans are great. I like vegans. But I also like hamburgers. I know I'm not the only person guilty of thinking that every minimalist is a vegan or a vegetarian. I know I'm not the only person guilty of thinking that. Until I became a minimalist and I realized it's about so much more than just that. So I want to clear this up right now. With minimalism comes mindfulness. And I think the reason that so many minimalists are vegan or vegetarian is because minimalism and veganism or vegetarianism share some common themes, like reducing your impact on the environment. But you don't have to be a vegan or a vegetarian to be a minimalist. Part of being a minimalist is being more aware of the things that you do or the choices that you make and ensuring that those choices support your values and support what is important to you as a person. You can eat anything as a minimalist. This was the thing that we experienced is as you become a minimalist, you become more aware of the choices that you're making, right? You're becoming more mindful. And you might become more mindful of the habits the way that you treat your body, right? So for instance, maybe some of us don't exercise as much as we should, or maybe some of us eat processed foods more than we should, or we eat fast food more than we should. You become more aware of the habits and things that you want to change that aren't making you happy. Like for instance, when we decided that we didn't really want fast food as much anymore, we kind of just thought about like every time we've had fast food, we always regretted it. Didn't feel good. So if it doesn't feel good, then why are we still doing it? That's the question. And becoming mindful of the choices that you're making gives you the opportunity to change the things that you don't like. We started incorporating less processed foods and more fresh foods and fruits and vegetables and whole grains and all of those things into our diets, and we've noticed that we feel much more refreshed, we feel much more healthy, we feel much more happy after a meal like that compared to processed foods or compared to fast foods or things like that. We decided that we still like the experience of going out and not cooking a meal sometimes. We like the experience of going out. But instead of choosing fast food, which doesn't really make us feel very good, we choose somewhere that serves like real food where you can sit down and enjoy the environment. Somebody else is cooking, somebody else is doing the dishes, but you get a good meal, at least definitely better than McPoo-poos. I mean McDonald's, that's what I meant to say. I, personally, am not a vegan or a vegetarian, but I admire that people have that level of commitment. Honestly, I can't give up my hamburgers. I love hamburgers too much. I'm sorry. And steak. Sounds really good right now. And oh my god, don't even get me started on chicken fingers. Jesus. I mean, if I was a vegan, I couldn't enjoy those farm fresh chicken eggs that my chickens give me. They're so beautiful. One thing that's important to me in my life as a minimalist is balance. So I have started incorporating some vegan and vegetarian meals into my diet. But I have a little bit of everything, and everything in moderation, I think, is good. But it is important to notice that when we went tiny and when we realized we were minimalist, we did adapt our diet and start eating much healthier. Minimalism itself is a big lifestyle shift, but once you adapt to it, you start to become more mindful of all the choices that you make in your life, including your dietary choices. And you may decide that there's some things that you don't like to eat, and that's okay. And there's some things that you do like to eat, and that's okay too. I think the moral of the story, just like everything that we've talked about really, is that minimalists do what they want to do. They do what makes them happy, and whatever makes you happy is what you should do. But side note, that vegan restaurant I go to is really good. Have you ever had a vegan milkshake with cashew milk? How the hell do they do that? It's like magic. Like, they make milk out of cashews. How do you milk a cashew? But it's amazing. It's probably hands down the best milkshake I have ever had in my life. It was delicious, but it was $10, so it better be delicious for $10. Worth it.